This is an election night update from WCIA 3 News, your local election headquarters.
All right, good evening. I'm Jen Lask. I've got Jessica Coons here with me, and we have been following Champaign County's numbers closely, and Jessica has been breaking down all the numbers on air, and so I grabbed her so she could talk with us on our digital platforms as well. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, what a night in Champaign County. So I'm going to pull up my phone here because I want to go over the timeline of how we got here. So around 9 o'clock, the Champaign County Clerk's Office said they were having some difficulties. They said that between late voters casting their ballots and they were still processing early votes, that they were seeing a backlog. And we wondered what was going on because we weren't really seeing results from Champaign County. So that was around 9 o'clock. And since then, Courtney Bunting, who's over at Brookins in Urbana, talking with the county clerk when he's available, talking with other people who work in that office when she can, she was given a piece of paper and it said 100% precincts reported, but it only had 10,600 total votes. Well, that math just doesn't make sense for Champaign County. So 100% precincts should be 18,500 for today alone, is what she told me. So County Clerk Erin Ammons told her that there should be 92,000 plus votes and 100% precincts reporting was wrong. So at some point, Champaign County had 100% precincts reporting, but that wasn't right. They still had a lot of votes to tally. So right now we are still waiting for those votes to be tallied. And Courtney Bunting has been talking with Erin Ammons trying to get that figured out. We just heard from her, but she is still waiting for an update.
All right.
That was a lot.
That was a lot. And that's been a lot. It's been, you know, the big storyline from about, what would you say, 10 o'clock onward has just been what is going on.
Even before then, because we were waiting for those numbers to come in for Champaign County, because not only do we have those races there, but those numbers in Champaign County affect some other races. Of course, the 13th Congressional District, Rodney Davis has announced victory there, but we still don't have all the numbers from Champaign County.
Right, and he said that they are looking at the math and believes that the outlets that have declared him a winner will prove to be right. Having that victory speech, we saw that live on air, but of course, we are still waiting for some of those numbers from U of I, for example. All eyes on Champaign County right now in central Illinois. And, you know, you were in here earlier when we were listening to Jennifer Roscoe talking about how this is not the first time that a race in Champaign County has been slow getting the numbers in. So.
Yeah, and I mean, I've experienced that with other counties. I've never seen it myself for Champaign County, but it's interesting because Champaign County is so big. I've seen it in smaller counties, but a lot of races waiting to be called in Champaign County right now.
And, you know, we keep talking, and we're about to go to Maggie Hockenberry in a sec with this, but we keep talking about how this is a night unlike any other. And from your standpoint at the anchor desk, how has this been different for you? What things have felt similar to previous years? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so I've only anchored a few election nights, and the difference this year is us cutting back in, waiting on local results. I haven't experienced that before. We're cutting back in here again at 11:54, 55-ish, still waiting on an update from Champaign County. So that's really been the difference for me, is the late night. We expected it this year, and it's proven itself to be true.
And Jessica, you've been behind the desk, and Maggie has been behind the scenes for us, and we want to go out to her right now. So Maggie, you have been overseeing a lot of what's been going on in the newsroom. Can you tell us a bit about how this night has gone?
Yeah, Jen, it's a lot going on behind the scenes, obviously, but as I always say in our pre-election meetings, a lot of moving parts, and those parts have to move correctly. The phone still continues to ring. We still continue to see breaking news. We still have technical difficulties. All of the above can always take place on election night, but we have a really great team here at WCIA, and I'm just grateful that, you know, I'm able to be a part of that. I've been on just about every side of election night, like Jess was saying. You know, first thing I learned when I started here, I remember I started in July, and then that first election, it was exciting and a big deal, and I just started learning the basics, and I really think it laid the groundwork of where I would eventually go in the business. You don't see me on TV anymore, but I do all sorts of stuff behind the scenes, and like I said, but I couldn't do it though without the help of all of our team members.
And all of those teammates are spread out this year, Maggie. I mean, we're used to, each of us have been in different election night coverage. Both of us have been behind the scenes at different points. Both of us have been in front of the camera on this. And what we're used to is just this flurry of activity of people running around the newsroom, fighting over the election night pizza, for example. Some of the lighter moments of that. And we've had our sales team that's always been so fantastic behind the scenes helping with counting those numbers. And, you've had to communicate in different ways this year. What was it like preparing for that?
A lot of emails, a lot of text messages, a lot of follow-up phone calls. But one thing that I think I bring to the table with this position that I now take on here at Channel 3 is my past experience. I know what it's like to be the reporter out in the field, trying to come up with new information or trying to get someone to answer the phone and give you the information you're looking for. Sometimes that hurts me. Sometimes that makes me good in my management position, but I always can relate to the reporters and the videographers, which I think is important. Sometimes I need to be a little bit more stern. I want everybody to be happy and everybody to work as a team. Sometimes I just got to get my point across. So I think for sure that's something, like I said, the moving parts, and it's all just figuring out what fits into what. We had some technical difficulties with Mark Maxwell in Taylorville with the 13th congressional race. Obviously a big race we did not want to lose sight of, so I called up a crew in Decatur to see if they could drive to Taylorville. And if I didn't have that flexibility from my team members, it wouldn't be possible. We've still got crews out, and it's going to be going on midnight here, but they know it's important. They want to continue to deliver that information to our viewers, especially. And we have a really, really important job to do. I woke my son up this morning. He's going to be 1 this month. And of course, he had no idea what I was talking about, but I just said, as corny as it sounds, your mom's about to be a part of an election that will go down in history. So that's where I think I bring the personal touch to making sure that, especially with our coverage, I know that these are everyday people that are out covering races. They're tired, they're hungry, they're ready to go home, but I just want to be there with you that we can to our viewers, and we hope that you appreciate the work we put into what we get on TV every day.
Yeah, and we've heard from some of the first-time voters, some teenagers who went to the ballot boxes for the first time this election season, and maybe in 17 years we'll be interviewing your son for a story like that as well.
Absolutely, that would be very exciting. I'd be very proud of him. I also felt like when I joined the WCIA team, I have a responsibility as well. I live in Monticello, so obviously my vote's not here in Champaign County, but I would say you could ask me pretty much any question of something that appeared on one of the ballots in our viewing area, and I could give you a general idea of what it is. And that's because not only do the anchors need to do the research and the reporters, but I want to make sure that I'm communicating to them exactly what they need to know about their races. So I learned a lot in school and in college, but the amount of knowledge that I have obtained from working in news the last 7 years of my life, I think definitely can't even compare to what I've learned here at Channel 3 compared to what I learned in school.
And one of the things that I love, and you brought that up, being from Monticello and living there, and we have Jennifer Roscoe, for example. We were talking about her years of experience here. There are so many people in this newsroom who have such a deep connection to the communities that they're from in Central Illinois. And when we talk about these numbers, this is something that they're not just numbers to us. They're the neighbors that we're talking about. They're issues that impact all of us. So I think I know, speaking from my experience, and I just tapped the mic on that. I think it's really wonderful that there are so many people who are so passionate about the community and so welcoming to us within this Central Illinois. And I'm just excited that we get to be the local election headquarters to help bring that news to our community, not just to, the people. It's our community.
And Jen, it's an emotional day. Everybody's tensions are high. They know who they voted for. They know who they want to win. I've been on both sides of it. I've been the Liberty Party. I've been the Liberty Party. It's a tough thing to watch. I've watched the referendum. We think about all the kids that won't benefit from this funding. You look at someone that's ran 3 or 4 times and they still don't make it through. So, like I said, that's where that real person in me comes through. And even though you don't see that on TV from me anymore, I watch the numbers go across and I've got reactions just like everybody else too. So, I think we do a good job of just getting you the results on election night. But man, come 8 a.m. tomorrow, you just kind of sit there and think, whoa, did that all happen in one day? And you start back.
Absolutely.
It's a great thing.
All right.
Something new.
Well, thank you so much, Maggie, for stopping in here. We're going to let you get back to the newsroom. And in just about 3 minutes, we are going to be hearing from our anchors live on TV. So we will be bringing you the latest updates on that election night coverage as well. But for now, I'm Jen Lask, and I'm going to wrap it up.
This is an election night update from WCIA 3 News, your local election headquarters.
Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
I'm Jessica Coons.
And I am Jennifer Roscoe. Thank you for joining us on Election Night 2020, also almost the day after election night, right? The AP has declared Republican Congressman Rodney Davis the winner over challenger Betsy Londrigan. We heard from him just a short time ago. He is not waiting on any other vote totals. He likes his lead here. He feels comfortable, 61% to Londrigan's 39%, but Londrigan still has not conceded this race.
Every seat in Congress is up for grabs tonight. Another race we are looking at is that in the 15th congressional district. It includes portions of Champaign and Ford counties and goes all the way to the southernmost tip of the state.
And in that race, we had Republican Mary Miller and Democrat Erica Weaver. 76% of precincts reporting in this race, and Mary Miller has a big lead with 73% of the vote. Let's take a look at the 16th district. That includes part of Iroquois and Ford counties. The incumbent, Republican Adam Kinzinger, taking it, winning this one with 66% of the vote to his challenger's 34%.
Let's look at the 18th congressional district, which includes Sangamon and Menard counties, all the way west to the Mississippi. 95% of precincts reporting, and incumbent Republican Darren LaHood is headed back to D.C. with 72% margin over his Democratic challenger.
Of course, we are still waiting for election results from Champaign County, and WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting is live there at the Brookings Administrative Center. Courtney, they haven't kicked you out just yet. I know they're locking the doors. What's going on there?
Well, Jennifer, I just got an update now. We've been refreshing the totals and been actually waiting for people to bring in physical results, but they're also being uploaded onto the county clerk's website. And now I've just refreshed it, and it seems as if they've counted now 71,800 votes. However, the website no longer reflects the percentage of precincts that have been counted to reflect that number. It shows early voting totals, vote by mail totals, and then election day totals, but doesn't show exactly how many precincts have been counted. Whenever I mentioned earlier, I had spoke to Champaign County Clerk Aaron Ammons, and he explained that they expected more than 92,000 votes today. And again, the 71,800 votes total does not reflect that amount that he was expecting. So we'll be in touch with him about what exactly that difference is. Back to you, Jennifer, in the studio.
Okay, Courtney, thank you.
All right, we have complete election results at WCIA.com.
And you can download the WCIA 3 News app.